This broadcast of the ASEAN Basketball League may not be reused in any way, shape, or form without an express written consent of the ABL.
Go right there, another block by Miguel.
Wide open is Venetian. Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire.
Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in! CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai, oh everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net. Leaky with a big steal. Leaky for 3. That goes in. What a play!
I'm Anton Rojas, and joining me to break down this matchup is veteran sports writer and international commentator, Mr. Sedelf Tupas.
Hi, good evening, Anton, and good evening to the fans of the ASEAN Basketball League. Another great matchup on hand right here as two teams go against each other. Both teams coming off close losses in the past week, and both teams are raring to bounce back and get on the winning track once again.
Now let's take a look, Sedelf, at where both these teams are situated. We see Macau at the number 6 spot. They've already played 12 games. Hong Kong Eastern, on the other hand, are at 3 and 5.
Well, Hong Kong Eastern has played well in the last 5 games. They are 3 and 2 in their last 5 games. Dropped a close one against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas last Thursday. And as for the Macau Black Bears, they've dropped a couple of close ones as well. Came down to the final possessions in losses to the Singapore Slingers and the Macau Wolf Warriors the last time out.
And it was a painful one against the Macau Wolf Warriors, a game that happened here at this very venue because the Black Bears were actually on top by 10, 95 to 85 with 3 minutes and 11 seconds left, but the Wolf Warriors went on a 12-0 run to close out the game.
Actually, they were on top by 13 with 4 minutes and 8 seconds remaining, and then, the Wolf Warriors just, took it to the Macau Black Bears, and Julian Boy getting the game winner. As for Hong Kong Eastern, they were down by 18 in that ball game against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, and somehow managed to fight back and get a 3-point lead with 2 minutes remaining, but Alab's defense just clicking at the right time. Jeremiah Gray with a big block on John Shu on a possible game-winning attempt right at the buzzer.
And that was coming off a timeout with 7.1 seconds remaining. So Coach Jordan Brady had an opportunity to drop the game-winning play. Unfortunately, things didn't go their way, and that is why Hong Kong is in this type of situation. But I'm glad, Sadelf, that you mentioned the last 5 games of Hong Kong, because remember, it was in the last 5 games that they brought in Brandis Rayleigh Ross. So with Rayleigh Ross as their starting point guard in the place of Trey Kell, who is leading the league, averaging 31.3 points per game, Hong Kong Eastern is 3-2.
Well, definitely a great addition for them. Brandis Rayleigh Ross, although he took 32 shots in the last game, just made 12, but he had a season-high 33 points. Let's take a look at our steady contributor for the Macau Black Bears. We'll go back to that later, as Jennings Leung has really come alive for the Black Bears. This team badly needs local support, with Mike McKinney and Kenny Manigault in there, providing a lot of touches, getting a lot of touches and baskets. But you know, a guy like Jennings Leung stepping up should be immense for Coach Strauss.
And we have a lot of interesting storylines tonight, Sadelf, considering the fact that because of what happened to the ankle of Brandon Edwards, he sprained his right ankle, there will be a new import joining Kenny Manigault and of course Mike McKinney. But we know Manigault, just like his relative Earl, the GOAT Manigault, puts on a show every time he puts on those basketball shoes.
Well, definitely one of the most exciting players, one of the most explosive players here in the ABL, and you see he can get any shot that he wants here in the ABL, and he's also very good defensively, gets a lot of deflections, gets a lot of steals, and he can play on both ends of the floor. But the problem is, for Macau Black Bears, they've struggled to close out the wins in the last 2 games, and this is where Manigault, I think, should really step up down the stretch.
And I'd also like to add that he is their vocal leader. Now, you mentioned the name of John Shu, who played well against Alab Pilipinas, had a chance to win the game in the end, but you mentioned the block of Jeremiah Gray. He needs to wax hot tonight here in Macau.
Well, definitely very important to take that load off Brandon Costner and Brandis Rayleigh Ross. Actually, all of his 8 points came in the second half, John Shu, and he was very instrumental in that late run to close go within striking distance of San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. And this is the guy we've been talking about. Brandis Rayleigh Ross, very deceptive with his speed, with his movement. He uses a lot of hesitation moves to get past defenders, and you see right here, also has the hops to elevate and then slam that ball home.
He's number 3 in the league when it comes to scoring, and number 3 as well when it comes to assists, averaging 8.8 assists per contest. And the 3-2 record says it all, with Brandis Rayleigh Ross as the starting point guard of Hong Kong Eastern. We also are very happy to announce that it is the birthday of Mike McKinney, and these are the keys to the game for the Macau Black Bears.
Well, to get bench support, of course, they need the other players to step up and slow down Rayleigh Ross. I think San Miguel Alab Pilipinas got that blueprint, gave that blueprint to the Macau Black Bears. We saw Jeremiah Gray defending Rayleigh Ross, just staying in front of him and forcing him to some tough shots, giving him different looks. But right here, Brandon Edwards, of course, is missing in action because of that ankle injury. Michael Holyfield, fresh off his battle with Sam DeGuara, comes in and probably gets a bit of a lighter assignment right now in a new import for Macau Black Bears and Jason Hannibal.
I'm not sure about that lighter assignment, Sadelf, because Jason Hannibal is a mountain of a man, 6'10", and here's the thing, Sadelf, as we take a look at Jason, he is very familiar with Hong Kong because he was a practice player of Hong Kong Eastern for the past 2 ABL seasons.
Well, definitely familiarity is, I think, key here for Jason Hannibal. But again, they will miss Brandon Edwards. Will miss his versatility. Jason Hannibal ready to fill in for Brandon Edwards.
And right away, Jason talking to Big Mike Holyfield. Those 2 guys know each other very well. So very interesting storyline tonight as friends turn foes here in Macau. Meanwhile, this is the guy we were talking about who needs to wax hot. John Shu canning it down from the right corner.
Well, good job there by John Shu getting open, and the catch and shoot, really dangerous. John Shu, one of the deadliest shooters there on the part of Hong Kong.
Meanwhile, Kenny Manigault missing on the layup as Costner brings down the basketball.
There's some interesting matchups here, Anton. Brandon Costner plays the 4 and 3 positions, holds a really good size advantage against Kenny Manigault. We'll see how Hong Kong will capitalize on this matchup right here.
Meanwhile, Brandis Rayleigh Ross creating some space, fading away for his first bucket of the game.
Now, Brandis Rayleigh Ross on the ball screen, always lethal, and he keeps defenders guessing with his ball handling and his hesitation moves. That time he scores from in close.
And Brandis Rayleigh Ross is also manning up on the birthday boy, Mike McKinney. So that just tells you a lot about his leadership, Sadel.
Yeah, absolutely. Played 40 minutes against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Took 32 shots as McKinney misses.
Missing on his first triple attempt, Rayleigh Ross will slow down the offense. They will go to their half-court set.
What I like about Rayleigh Ross here is always under control.
Surprise starter for today, Lee Key. And maybe Coach Jordan Brady has something up his sleeve as the veteran from Hong Kong drains his first triple.
Oh, Lee Key hardly even played against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. He was on the floor for just 8 seconds, I believe. And this time, Coach Jordan Brady going to his veteran and getting rewarded early.
Meanwhile, Liang will try to respond, and he does, to get Macau on the board.
Warren Liang has really been a revelation the past few games. Finished in double digits against Singapore Slingers. Had a really great game, unable to close it out there.
Meanwhile, Rayleigh Ross finding Big Mike Holyfield for the first dunk of the game.
Good early offense there for Hong Kong Eastern.
McKinney on the reverse. McKinney with the birthday special.
And not a lot of defense being played here in the early goings as McKinney had a free lane in the baseline and went up for that reverse. Easy basket for the birthday boy.
Costner trying to shoot it over Hannibal bothering him. Here's Kenny Manigault. Manigault slicing the defense and converting on the lay-in.
Nice move there by Kenny Manigault, using the glass to finish, and also finishing with his left hand there as he was trying to elude the defense of Holyfield.
Holyfield receiving the entry pass from Rayleigh Ross. Rayleigh Ross moves closer, and Rayleigh Ross just creating some space with that big body of his.
Well, this is where Rayleigh Ross is at his best, especially when you stick close to him, when you're the defender. He's got that, his offhand, you know, the referee may not see it all the time, but he's got that offhand ready to create space for himself. And some of the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas players were just raving at the way he's been able to carve space and get to the spots where he wants to be.
Brandis Rayleigh Ross spent his college years at South Carolina, played in the NBA D-League for the Erie Bayhawks, and had experience also playing in Europe, in Lithuania, and Croatia, Greece, and Slovakia. So that's very impressive resume for this guy.
Hong Kong Eastern scoring 12 points in the first 3.5 minutes. That's a lot if they're giving up a shot there. McKinney.
Oh, but it looks like he hurt something as he went up for that shot, but McKinney, ever so creative, finds a way to put that basketball through the hoop.
Just a born scorer, Mike McKinney. And look at this here. He uses the Hannibal pick and gets some space as he steps into the free throw line, stepping back right there and fading away and drawing the foul as well. That's just a tough cover for Lee Key.
And it's also a tough cover for Jennings Leung. So some very interesting matchups we have here tonight at the Venetian in Macau. Rayleigh Ross being given a lot of space, and he makes the defense pay.
Well, Leung had his hand down right there, and Rayleigh Ross very worried about the penetration.
Manigault trying to draw a foul. Rayleigh Ross accelerates. Costner, he can shoot. Unable to knock it down on that opportunity. Here's McKinney. McKinney to Liang. Liang Hannibal could not finish.
Holyfield playing some great defense there, putting himself and the basket and in between the basket and Hannibal.
Rayleigh Ross. Again being given a lot of space. Second triple of the game for Brandis Rayleigh Ross.
This is where it gets problematic for the Macau Black Bears, because as soon as you try to go under that pick if you're defending Rayleigh Ross, but when he gets going, when he gets his shot, gets his range from beyond the arc, it opens up a lot of possibilities for the offense of Hong Kong Eastern. And that time he opts to take a shot, a wide open.
McKinney could not finish. Hannibal trying to tap the ball to himself. Manigault launches a triple. Shot was short. And the foul is on Holyfield.
Just a wide body inside. Listen, Hannibal. And it just Sam DeGuar was 7'5". And then Michael Holyfield goes up against, like 3 days later, goes on the road and goes up against Jason Hannibal, probably around 6'10", and has a 20-pound advantage on him.
That's how it is in the ABL. Guys just get bigger and bigger. I mean, you had Sim Bular at one point playing for the Fubon Braves, and Moraquinho Williams, another big body, playing for the Saigon Heat. Meanwhile, torching the net is John Shu, and that forces Coach Charles Hantomacos to call for time. Hong Kong Eastern leads Macau 21-10. An 11-point lead for the visiting Hong Kong Eastern. And this is the second meeting between both these squads in Season 10 of the ABL. But it's been a while since they last saw each other. November 27 was the first meeting between the two squads, as we see Manigault rise for the basket.
Well, this is the second meeting, and Macau Black Bears took the first one, and Hong Kong actually had a different set of imports there. Tim Price and Trey Kell were there for Hong Kong Eastern.
And Trey Kell had 31 points in the loss. McKinney!
Now, how he was able to get that basket to go is beyond me, because Rayleigh Ross was going for that chase down block, and somehow McKinney was able to get that shot off.
McKinney like an artist on the basketball court, creating highlights. Manigault! Did you see the spin on the ball?
Yeah, using some English there, Kenny Manigault. And, when you talk about artistry, this guy isn't far behind as well, Kenny Manigault.
He had 31 points in that win. Or rather, 26 points in the win against Hong Kong last November 27. Shu has to throw it up as the shot clock was expiring. Nowhere to go on that attempt.
Well, that is where you see the value of a Jason Hannibal right there. As soon as Rayleigh Ross was able to get position underneath, Hannibal was there to provide the double team, and that really threw off the attack of Hong Kong.
Meanwhile, Lian is able to knock down another triple. He was the guy who started the scoring and opened up the floodgates for the Black Bears.
And now the Black Bears within two. A couple of threes already for Warren Liang.
A 9-0 run for Macau. Costner double team, throws it out to Brandis Rayleigh Ross. Rayleigh Ross, fade away. Could not get the lucky bounce. Hannibal comes up with the rebound. A chance for Macau to tie. Manigault puts it up and in, plus the foul.
Kenny Manigault just relentless that time. His initial effort was a miss. Challenges the defense of Costner, but sticking with it, and was able to draw the foul, I believe, on Holyfield. Just the athleticism of this guy, Kenny Manigault.
8 points already in the game for Manigault. Could not convert on the bonus free throw though, but this is an 11-0 run now for the Black Bears.
But a big development here for Hong Kong Eastern is that Michael Holyfield already with a couple of fouls in the first period, but he's staying on the floor.
And that's always a concern with regards to Big Mike Holyfield, because he is a banger, as Lee Kee is able to draw a foul.
Yeah, Lee Kee that time putting the ball on the deck, showing us that he's more than just a spot-up shooter. If you're Macau Black Bears, you're fine with that. Closing out hard on the shooters of Hong Kong Eastern. Really tough to do, especially with Brandis Rayleigh Ross trying to pull the strings with his playmaking.
Now, with the entry of Lee Kee to the rotation, Sidelf, you gotta wonder who's going to lose minutes. Will it be Gunchard or will it be Adam Zhu? Gunchard is about to check in.
Well, also, Lao Tzu Lai is also critical to this team. But I think for Coach Jordan Brady, it's really important that whoever gets going stays on the floor. You need everyone to step up. And you know, the last game, Costner and Rayleigh Ross combined for 57 attempts. Can you imagine that? Two players, 57 attempts.
And they almost won that game too. Lee Kee in and out. Costner hit the deck, but he's back up and running. This is Manigault. Lian gets it back from Leung. Black Bears down by 2. Manigault for the tie. Hannibal, too strong.
I thought Jason Hannibal had great position there. Costner had an advantage as well.
Rayleigh Ross kicks it out to Costner. Long ball. Rattles out. And that's a foul on Gunchard.
Warren Young just beating Gunchard there on the box out.
(23-21). Hong Kong Eastern on top with 1:26 to go here in the first quarter. This is the matchup we've been waiting for. McKinney against Brandis Rayleigh Ross, and McKinney is able to draw the foul.
And just a crafty offensive player. Mike McKinney. See the smallest of gaps on that defense. He can wiggle through traffic with his lean frame, with his ball handling. And as soon as it gets into that paint, just chalk up those 2 points.
Wiggle is the word to describe that move. One of 100 moves that McKinney possesses in his arsenal. Former ABL Heritage Import MVP back in 2018, Mike McKinney. And he ties the game up at 23. He's got 9.
9 points for McKinney. Just his usual numbers there in the first period.
Rayleigh Ross, he is a competitor. when the offense scores on him, he always wants to get it back on the other end.
12 points already for Rayleigh Ross on attack mode early on.
McKinney pulls up. Gunchard with the rebound. Under a minute to play here in the first. Rayleigh Ross accelerates using his speed and power.
And Rayleigh Ross on fire here in the first period. 14 points. And Jennings just can't stay in front of Rayleigh Ross.
Lau for three. Shot was short. Gunchard working hard on the glass.
What a luxury for Coach Jordan Brady just to have a take charge guy, Rayleigh Ross, running your offense.
And that's an offensive foul called on Gunchard as he provided a screen for Costner. So it will be the Black Bears with an opportunity to come up with a field goal here with 13.1 seconds remaining here in the quarter.
No, you have two options when you have Rayleigh Ross, when you're defending Rayleigh Ross. Really, you want him to be a playmaker, a scorer. But he does both things really, really well.
McKinney, crossover, McKinney on the drive. The burst of speed from one Mike McKinney.
Mike McKinney just leaving Costner in the dust there with that crossover.
You're watching our coverage of Season 10 of the ASEAN Basketball League, where Mike McKinney and the Macau Black Bears are hosting Hong Kong Eastern, two teams coming off heartbreaking defeats, looking to get back on the win column. Jennings Leung starts off the second period with a three.
Oh, Jennings Leung has had a rough time on the defensive end. That time he gets 3 points back from all that he's given up against Rayleigh Ross.
Oh, great intention there, but the pass was off the mark for John Shu.
Macau Black Bears in the lead now.
Now, Sadelf, another player who has been quiet here is Brandon Costner. Still without a point here in this contest.
Yeah, he's only taken 3 shots so far.
Liang is able to knock down the mid-range J.
Aaron Liang has a great offensive arsenal. He can shoot from beyond the arc, and he can also attack off the dribble. It's really a matter of getting his confidence here. And 3-4 games back, he was able to get that.
Shu on the step back. Wow! And he might have been fouled there too.
Yes, absolutely. Some contact there on the attempt. And John Shu, one of those players who have really developed here for Hong Kong Eastern over the course of the last 2 seasons.
Liang short on his triple try, a collision between him and McKinney. Hong Kong is running gun-shy, not gun-shy at all, but short on that triple try. Manigault, using his power. Holyfield with a rejection.
Holyfield, nice help there.
Hannibal almost putting it down. Shot was a little bit weak off the glass.
And if you're Michael Holyfield, you gotta look out for those drives every time because you expect Kenny Manigault to get past his defenders for against Hong Kong. And he's complaining to the referees that all the contact. And here, Coach Jordan Brady's voice reverberating inside the Venetian.
And that's because Holyfield has 3 personal fouls, and that's what we've been waiting from Jason Hannibal.
Wow. That's a throwdown from Jason Hannibal, capitalizing on the absence of Holyfield inside the paint.
He's stalking, and he bumps into Costner, who knocks down his first field goal.
That foul, though, happened before the shot was put up. It didn't look like they will get continuation, just a sideline inbound. That was very close there.
And Coach Jordan Brady
It turned out to be a good foul there.
feels that there should have been a continuation, though, as Costner was still in motion.
And he did not put the ball on the deck.
Manigault deflecting that pass intended for John Shu, who has been red hot in this game. And to those who just tuned in, there is a new import for Macau because Brandon Edwards sprained his right ankle in the last game, but Coach Charles Hantomacos did tell me that Edwards is still their guy and Hannibal will be here for as long as Edwards is out. And here he is, Hannibal. Jump hook is good. He was working on that shot hours before the start of this game.
And Hannibal, that repetition helping you to get your rhythm in the first few hours that they were here earlier.
But that left-handed hammer, I didn't see that one coming, Sadelf.
Yeah, he was working on the right side, getting it off the glass, but that time doing well there.
Leong almost blocked by Rayleigh Ross, but Leong with no fear laying it high up and off the glass.
Now this is the type of game, the tempo that Macau Black Bears like to have. Averaging 97 points per outing. They're looking like they're going to surpass that with the pace that they're playing right now. They lead by 6 against Hong Kong Eastern.
Their biggest lead of the contest. visiting Hong Kong Eastern. In the first quarter, Hong Kong was on top by as many as 11. How have the Macau Black Bears turned things around, Sidolf?
I think it all started with their defense. Jason Hannibal has been able to anchor that interior defense pretty well. Somehow managed to stop Rayleigh Ross from getting to his spots now. And the pace that Macau is playing is really the type of pace that they want to play. They want to go into their early offense. They want to get transition baskets. That's what this game has turned around because of that.
And now the defense has shifted with Manigault defending Rayleigh Ross, which is one of their keys to victory. Slow down Brandis Rayleigh Ross.
And the same thing that San Miguel Alab Pilipinas did. You know, they held Rayleigh Ross to a lot of misses, and you know they got an 18-point lead and then preserved that victory with some great defense.
Rayleigh Ross throws it out. Ball ends up in the corner. Too strong on that shot for Adam Zhu.
You see, Macau Black Bears can live with that shot, but you saw the help there. The initial point of attack of Rayleigh Ross stopped by McKinney again.
And Hannibal with a quick finish. 6 points for the big man.
And Hannibal now frolicking inside because of the absence of Holyfield, really. Unable to stop himself from getting into foul trouble.
Well, it's a mammoth type of a battle between Costner and Hannibal. Costner winning on that exchange.
Yeah, beautiful body control there from Costner. Able to utilize his speed advantage on Hannibal.
Costner is just a crafty big man and a lefty too, so makes him all the more tougher to guard. And really he airballs that free throw.
And really for his size, it's very deceptive. The way he's able to handle that basketball, his soft touch.
And from where we're sitting, we can hear the voice of Kenny Manigault so clearly calling out the plays. He is their vocal leader. McKinney puts up the jumper.
Wow. Really Ross losing his balance there as McKinney put him behind his back.
Gunchard from the corner, in and out, rebound, Manigault. 8-point lead for the Black Bears. Manigault. Battle for the loose ball. Who will get to it? It's Gunchard. And now it ends up in the hands of Costner. Costner to Shu. Looking for a teammate. Gets it to Rayleigh Ross. Rayleigh Ross against Hannibal. Throws it out. Gets it back. Shoots it from the baseline. That's good.
Giving it away to get it back. Rayleigh Ross relocating to that corner. Wide open three there. All day to shoot for Rayleigh Ross. Finally getting on track here in the second period.
So that's the third triple of the game now for Brandis Rayleigh Ross. Leung from McKinney. Shot was short. Costner comes up with the board. Zhu.
Costner working extra hard on the box out on Hannibal. Hong Kong Eastern able to keep this basketball right here.
Holyfield remains on the bench with 3 personal fouls. Rayleigh Ross. John Shu, he's had the hot hand today.
John Shu, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc as he puts Hong Kong Eastern to within 2.
And Coach Charles Hantomacos calls for time. Coming off the timeout, Mike McKinney. And we've been loving this matchup between him and Rayleigh Ross. Manigault gets it back to McKinney. Liang gives it up to Jennings Leung. From the right wing, shot was short, whistle was blown, and a foul called on Hannibal.
You see some similarities from the play of both teams here. Their imports are go-to guys, can create, can get to the basket, but all the locals seem to be reduced to spot-up shooters. Leung, Yang, and on the other side, John Shu.
And it's also because of the active defense. Not much is given, but the shot, you'd have to have the creativity of a Mike McKinney to have something else happen. Meanwhile, Costner.
Oh, just great defense there by Manigault. Moving his feet very well.
And this is what happens when the center of the Black Bears go to the bench. Manigault has to defend the biggest man on the other side.
No, really, it's a choice. If you're a team here in the ASEAN Basketball League.
Costner, bothered by the challenge of Manigault. Rayleigh Ross finishing.
Moving well without the basketball. Rayleigh Ross there. Ginchard was able to track down the miss and saw a cutting Rayleigh Ross who gets the 2 points.
19 points in the game for Brandis Rayleigh Ross. McKinney steps back, shoots it over Costner. Too strong. Battle for the loose ball. Falls out of bounds.
John Pong Lao cannot keep it in play.
Under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Costner. Ginchard gets it up and in. Got the lucky bounce on the drive.
Nice move there by Ginchard. Took it off the dribble. Nice control there as he went up for that shot.
And that's his first field goal of the contest, but he's been busy on the glass.
Well, he's providing some energy and hustle on both ends.
Ginchard giving up the shot. Errant pass. Look out below. Charleston, South Carolina represent Kenny Manigault.
Kenny Manigault rising to stuff that basketball home and playing the passing lane very well.
Rayleigh Ross. Ginchard. And that's a foul on McKinney. And they obviously don't like the call.
Well, that was a tough one because Ginchard was going into the area where another defender from the Macau Black Bears was standing in position. But again, McKinney using his hands there. I thought that would have been a let go call there. So Ginchard's forcing that one.
Costner. And that is an offensive foul, moving screen called on Adam Zhu.
But see how quick Manigault was able to still get a hand on that basketball, even though Adam Shu provided the pick.
One of the best two-way players we have here in the ABL, Kenny Manigault. And he gets the ball here from McKinney. He likes this matchup. Falls down though, but Costner got his hand on the basketball. It will stay with the Black Bears.
Well, lucky break there for the Macau Black Bears. As Manigault already lost his balance on the spin here. He slipped. But Costner was not expecting that one. He got a touch on the basketball.
10 seconds on the shot clock for Macau. Manigault in the post, throws it out to Leung, who throws it back in. 3 on the shot clock, fade away. And that's a foul on Zhu.
So plenty of contact there as Manigault comes up with a spin and the shot from the baseline. Adam Shu had his hand up, but again, there was plenty of contact between his hand and the right hand of Manigault.
Manigault, of course, a familiar name when it comes to the history of basketball. Earl the GOAT Manigault, Harlem legend, but was born in the same hometown as Kenny Manigault, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina. And he confirmed that they're actually related, except that he didn't go to Harlem to, become a playground legend at the Rucker.
But here, he is starting to grow his legend as well in the ASEAN Basketball League. Traveling all the way to Asia to showcase his wares.
And he's loving the experience. One thing Coach Charles Hantomacos was telling me, amidst this losing skid, none of the players were pointing fingers in the locker room.
And especially, it shows you the character that is being built here within the Macau Black Bears. Those are two tough losses.
Meanwhile, Zhu, nice fake. Could not put it down. Black Bears are running. This is Liang. Throws it out. Ball ends up in the hands of Leong, who gives it to McKinney. McKinney, under a minute to play here in the first half. McKinney pulls up and is able to get the lucky bounce.
Mike McKinney pulling up from mid-range. And Brandon Costner, not much he can do there. Had to keep his distance because he was also very worried about the drive of McKinney.
McKinney with 15 points in the contest. And he leads all Black Bears in scoring. Manigault has 11. On the other hand, it is Rayleigh Ross leading the way for Hong Kong Eastern with 19.
Costner just 2 points. Holyfield with just 2 points.
Zhu from the baseline. Shot was short. Leong comes up with the board. 20 seconds remaining here in the first half, and they get the basketball to the birthday boy, Mike McKinney. What will he do? McKinney tells Lau to get out of the way. McKinney fades away.
Just the best here in the ABL in terms of creating his own shot. Mike McKinney right here beating the buzzer once again. Same thing happened in that first period where the Black Bears closed it out very strong, and in the second period finally making headway and taking this 5-point lead at the half.
47-42 is where we stand. The Macau Black Bears lead the visiting Hong Kong Eastern here at the Venetian in Macau as Mike McKinney celebrates his 28th birthday and is figuring in a very intense matchup with Brandis Rayleigh Ross. You've got halftime stats, analysis, and more when we return. Keep it right here on the ASEAN Basketball League channel. And we'll be back after a short break.
got a few offensive rebounds, as well as Brandon Costner. But take a look at the next 5 games of the Macau Black Bears here. They got a home and away swing with the Kuala KL Dragons, and also visiting Mono Vampire. So 3 really tough stretch ahead, especially when the games are coming in thick and fast in the last 2 months of the regular season of the ASEAN Basketball League. So all these teams, it's been a very competitive season so far.
Manigault comes up with a steal. Kenny Manigault with a finish on the break.
Well, defense into offense in the blink of an eye there, where the Black Bears pressuring the ball handler for Hong Kong and getting the steal. Manigault comes up with a good finish.
Rayleigh Ross. Pass was deflected, nearly intercepted. Rayleigh Ross recovers it. Lee Key is back on the floor, steps back, tries to draw a foul, could not do it. And Hannibal could not hold on to the leather.
Good persistence there by Lee Key to get another possession for Hong Kong, but he traveled on that occasion.
Should have been an easy jumper in the paint for Lee Key, who is trying to earn his place back in the rotation of Hong Kong. It's been tough under new coach Jordan Brady.
Well, Hong Kong had Coach Edu Torres for its first 3 seasons here in the ASEAN Basketball League, and Lee Key was a mainstay in that starting lineup.
McKinney tried to get the ball to Hannibal. Pass stolen away. Hong Kong. John Shu. Baseline jumper is good.
Now, Lee Key could have opted to take that shot, but it goes to John Shu, who has had the hot hand tonight. And John Shu gets another basket. That is already his 14th point in this ball game.
It looks like they credited it as a 3, Sedelf. So if that's the case, that's his 5th triple in the contest.
Yeah, 15 points, all coming from beyond the arc.
Manigault grabs his own miss. The effort of Kenny Manigault is just through the roof.
Yes, absolutely. Kenny Manigault, he will beat John Shu for that rebound, but Holyfield, because he's in foul trouble, could not do anything about it. Right there, just left Manigault to get that second serving right there.
Shu missing on the jumper. No look pass by Manigault to Jennings Leung.
And this is the pace that Macau wants to play. Again, Manigault on the open floor. He's got runners surrounding him, willing runners and his teammates.
Oh, Leung picking the pocket of Rayleigh Ross.
And just like that, back-to-back baskets for the Macau Black Bears, makes it a 10-point game. A miss on the other end. This is how quick a game can turn here in the ASEAN Basketball League, all with the talent on the other side, especially for the Macau Black Bears. Manigault getting to inside the paint, getting a basket inside the paint, and immediately Jennings Leung getting the steal, and another 2 points for the Black Bears.
And because of that, Coach Jordan Brady forced to call a timeout as the lead has ballooned to 10. Father is from Greece, but he grew up in Canada along with his mother, and that's also the reason why Jason Hannibal was recruited, even though he was a practice player for Hong Kong, is because they know each other from back in the day back home in Canada.
Well, Jason Hannibal is also Canadian, so that's the similarity right there. But Coach Charles Hantumakos done a great job here for Macau in his first season. But speaking of great job, that's a terrific drive from Rayleigh Ross, immediately answering off that timeout.
Rayleigh Ross is the man on the driver's seat of this Hong Kong Eastern squad. Oh, McKinney almost running out of space there. Saves the basketball. Manigault under duress.
Manigault just so smooth on that jumper. That time, took it off the dribble, and the defender was going under that pick, and that was enough time for Manigault to release and swish that one through.
Lee Key swishes that one through, his second triple of the contest.
Now, Lee Key, just a great spot-up shooter. If you give him time, he's gonna torch the opponent every time he gets those open shots.
Manigault. No foul called. Eastern has it. Rayleigh Ross.
Good job there by Ginchard, just staying in front of Manigault, forcing a tough shot. And they get the stop, and they can't go closer here.
Holyfield playing with 3 personal fouls. Rayleigh Ross throws it out to Ginchard. Ginchard to Lee Key. Quick release, overshoots that one. Ball is loose, picked up by Kenny Manigault. Liang thought about the 3, gives it back to Kenny. Mike McKinney drives, throws it back out. Manigault spins, can't convert, battle for the loose ball, and it still ends up with a Black Bear.
Hannibal doing a great job there.
Liang fading away, and Leung comes up with another offensive rebound.
Now, these extra possessions have been a concern. Coach Jordan Brady in that first half.
And Chenning Leung, because of the ball movement, is able to drain an open corner jumper.
3 offensive rebounds in that sequence for the Black Bears. And if you're Coach Jordan Brady, you're not going to be happy the way Hong Kong Eastern cannot finish those defensive possessions. And speaking of defense, here's Chenning Leung with a steal again.
Another steal and fast break lay-in, uncontested on the break for Chenning Leung.
Now 14 points for Chenning Leung here. It's come alive in the second half.
Rayleigh Ross, 23 points for him.
Well, Hong Kong Eastern, they have to get stops here. They've been having a difficult time neutralizing this offense of the Black Bears here in this third quarter.
McKinney spins, finds Hannibal. Hannibal looking for a second opportunity, loses control. Look at the effort. Just when you think it's going to be an Eastern rebound, a Black Bear comes out of nowhere to snatch that basketball.
No, the thing with Manigault is that he can get those offensive rebounds. It's very difficult to block him out because he's coming from the perimeter when he goes for that offensive rebound, and because of his athleticism and his speed, he can easily get back in transition and defend.
I think it's just hard to block him out, period. As Holyfield, another guy who opposing coaches describe as impossible to box out, scores on that putback.
Just the 4th point for Big Mike Holyfield. We all know that he's not really a scorer, but of course they need his offensive contributions here.
Leung, rebound, John Hsu, good box out by Holyfield on Hannibal. Rayleigh Ross. Manigault helping out McKinney on that defensive stand. Ginchard missing on that baseline jumper. Manigault, what a pass! What a pass! Wow. Did you see that?
Oh my goodness. He was looking the other way, and that bounce pass to the other side, and Liang making sure that he finishes that one with a great reverse layup.
Ginchard overshoots that one. Hong Kong just firing blanks ever since that Lee Key triple moments ago. McKinney. Cross-court pass, a long one. Ball is now with Manigault. Turnaround fadeaway. Too strong. And Rayleigh Ross will get the basketball from Holyfield. Oh, another steal. Manigault throws down the hammer.
So Manigault again on the defensive end. Rayleigh Ross a bit sloppy, showing that basketball to Manigault, and those quick hands working wonders for Manigault. And rising for that emphatic slam was Kenny Manigault to give Black Bears a 12-point lead. And on the other end, Holyfield just struggling in the face of this defense of Jason Hannibal, who just, planted his foot, just using his weight inside.
I asked Coach Charles Hantomakos, why'd you get him? Why'd you get Jason Hannibal? Well, aside from his connection, the Canadian connection, big, strong body, and he's a good kid. And whatever Coach Charles was expecting from Hannibal, that's what he's been getting today, Sadel.
Yes, absolutely. And he's just doing his job, providing picks, being a strong, able body inside, getting those rebounds, boxing out. And with a team loaded with firepower, really, that's a role that needs to be filled in this Macau team.
Meanwhile, McKinney has gone cold here in the third period, has not scored since the first half. Costner, the ball will stay with Hong Kong, but nearly lost possession of the basketball.
Well, two other imports of Hong Kong here, with the exception of Rayleigh Ross, who has 23 points. Costner and Holyfield combining for just 6 in this ball game.
Holyfield bothered by the presence of Hannibal, but the ball will remain with Hong Kong. The look on the face of Holyfield just says it all. It's been a tough night for him here in Macau. Costner, catch and shoot. Even Brandon Costner has not been lucky here in Macau.
Brandon Costner shooting just 1 of 6 here.
McKinney! I was just talking about how he seemed cold here in the period. Nothing but net on that triple.
And no shortage in confidence for Mike McKinney as Costner bullies his way for the 2 points.
But only his 4th point of the game.
Oh, Black Bears in control here.
And they badly want to get back on the win column. They want to get win number 6 here tonight. And on McKinney's birthday. Here he is, McKinney. Hannibal, too strong. Hannibal again. Misses with the left, misses with the right. And he has to run back down.
Wow, those were a couple of close range shots. Makeable shots, really.
Even he's laughing at himself for not putting those shots down. He's like, I know these guys.
Yeah.
I've been playing against these guys for 2 years.
But Coach Charles will will forgive him for those misses, especially with the work that he's done right now.
On short notice.
Yeah.
No practices with the Black Bears, and he has to come in and play heavy minutes, bang bodies with a fellow heavyweight in Big Mike Holyfield. Not an easy task.
Yeah, that's true. And he's been more effective than Holyfield, really, in this ball game. There's a push on Manigault, I believe.
Holyfield's a monster on the boards. 19 rebounds in the last game. Number 1 in the league in rebounding, 15.7. But today, it's just been a tough afternoon for him.
Well, we take a look at this push right there. Foul away from the ball on Manigault as he tried to fight off the pick of Costner. But, 2 games back,
Yeah.
Holyfield had 22 rebounds, 13 on the offensive glass.
I believe that was the game against Saigon, right?
Yeah, that's true. So, going into that last game, the opponent, San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, was really wary of the extra possessions that Michael Holyfield gives this Hong Kong Eastern team. But foul trouble has really, forced him to sit a lot of the minutes here and on the bench.
John Shu rising for the jumper. Manigault comes up with the board. 5 seconds remaining in the third. The Black Bears have to make a move. Liang at the buzzer. Almost.
Well, that would have been the 3rd buzzer beater in this ball game for the Macau Black Bears, but nonetheless, a solid third period for the home team. My pre-game conversation with him, he seemed very upbeat, very confident, and the one thing he stressed to me, Sadelf, was despite the back-to-back losses, nobody pointed fingers at each other after games. They still hung out, and the vibe was positive all throughout. Well, this is a long season, and they've got some time to correct mistakes, make some adjustments. But again, they're taking a double-digit lead heading into the fourth quarter, and in the fourth quarter actually. And this is the third game that they have a double-digit lead. Mike McKinney extends that lead to 16, but this is where really they've been tested every time. They took a 16-point lead against the Singapore Slingers, and then they took the foot off the gas pedal, and it unraveled late on.
Costner bothered by the sudden presence of Hannibal, but he's able to draw the foul.
Well, Brandon Costner, just 4 points through 3 quarters. He has to come out really aggressive here in the fourth as Hannibal comes in and provides some help on the spin move of Costner, and he gets a breather here.
And a good hand from the supporters of the Black Bears here at Hall E at the Venetian, as Costner will try to get himself going here in the fourth, Sadelf. They badly need his usual production.
No, definitely. Especially when he was relied upon in the last game. He took 25 shots in that last game.
And he has not hit a triple in this contest.
And he spent most of his time really defending, and expended a lot of energy trying to keep Hannibal off the glass. So that has got to take a toll on your offense as well.
McKinney gives it to Manigault. Leong, wow!
And he's been the X factor tonight. Jennings Leong, 17 points for the Black Bears. Every time that Manigault and McKinney are in trouble, they find Jennings Leong, who has been solid and efficient with his shooting.
Holyfield. Rarely do I see Holyfield get the ball from that far out, but he was pretty swift and powerful on that move.
Yeah, absolutely. He saw the advantage against Lau Chun-Pong. I think he got some confidence there, knowing that it wasn't Jason Hannibal defending him.
Well, you got to give him a break, Sadelf. I mean, he's been banging bodies with Hannibal, De Guara, and all these guys. his eyes lit up when he saw the much smaller defenders.
Yes, absolutely. Finally, he's thinking, oh, finally a break.
Holyfield's been quiet though. Just 4 points in the contest, 0 for 2 on that trip to the 9. Manigault looking for Leung. Leung tiptoeing his way through the baseline, manages to get the ball to McKinney. Double crossover, fade away, Mike McKinney.
Oh, Mike McKinney. The shiftiness and the power right there. Just carving space using the offhand.
And Costner doing something he should have been doing all throughout this game, bullying his way to the basket. McKinney! Where did the defense go?
Just blowing past Rayleigh Ross. And there's a ball screen right there ready for him, but he opts to go right, and Rayleigh Ross could not keep up. And that has been that type of evening for Costner. An air ball with a shot from beyond the arc.
It was as if Rayleigh Ross froze when McKinney made his move, but we take a look at what happened here. Holyfield, well, he apologized right away. He lifted his left hand as if to say, sorry. But McKinney and the rest of Liang's teammates stepped in. You don't want to get caught in one of Holyfield's elbows.
Yeah, the gentle giant.
Ginchard looking for Rayleigh Ross. Rayleigh Ross recovers the loose ball. Rayleigh Ross for 3. Short. Costner. 10 points. Breaks into double digits, but is it too late, Sedelf?
Well, 6 straight points here for Costner in the 4th. Going to work. He has to catch up.
Manigault splits the D. And here comes Rayleigh Ross colliding with Liang.
Coach Charles Santomakis was asking for a foul on the other end.
Well, both coaches Sedelf have been working the officials here today.
And Coach Jordan Brady also asking for an unsportsmanlike foul. May have a case though. And they go to the review. Because it didn't look like Warren Liang was going for the basketball.
And it seems that Jennings Leung's left hand is being checked right now, Sedelf. It's being checked on.
That as well. And you see here, the Black Bears now with 4 team fouls. And this was a trend that I saw when I covered them almost a couple of weeks ago when they played the Singapore Slingers. They were also in the penalty quite early in the 4th quarter, and they were ahead by 16 points going into that period. And Xavier Alexander just, continued to just piled up the pressure on the defense and just got into the free throw line regularly in that 4th quarter up until, every time he goes to the free throw line, it really slows down the offense of the other team as well, the Macau Black Bears. And that trend continued up until the end, and Singapore managed to come away with a come-from-behind win.
And perhaps that trend is on the mind of Coach Charles Santomakis, because imagine losing those types of leads that your team built.
Well, that's true, because they could have been easily 7-5 right now.
Exactly. McKinney! 30 points on his birthday.
Wow.
And he's not done yet.
Yep. Mike McKinney again.
Probably the biggest challenge in the fourth quarter for Brandis Rayleigh Ross as a member of Hong Kong because they are staring at this 21-point deficit.
Yeah, 2 games ago, Hong Kong Eastern were just about ready to really, get going this season, come up with a 3-game winning streak as they went up against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, and now, 2 days later, they're staring also at back-to-back losses again. And it looks like it's, going to be back to the drawing board again for Coach Jordan Brady as they are staring at a 21-point hole here.
So, Delph, why do you think it has only been in this period where Costner was this aggressive? I mean, look at Brandon Costner here, just bullying the much smaller defenders.
Well, there's a sense of urgency on the part of Brandon Costner considering that they're down big. But I think this is the only time that Holyfield and him have, been on the floor together for an extended stretch. And that relieves the pressure off him. And also, there's no Hannibal in there. So he can just work his way inside and use that advantage.
But now he's back in. Number 64, Hannibal. You can't miss him with that unusual jersey number. But the reason why he wears 64 was that was the number assigned to him when he played for the Washington Wizards summer league team in 2017.
Wow, that's a very interesting story as well. I think he was, one of the interns for player development of the Wizards. And he got rewarded with a spot in the summer league team. But again, the Macau Black Bears just firing on all cylinders here.
55 points combined from Manigault and McKinney. Holyfield in a battle with Hannibal. McKinney shovel pass to Jennings Leung. Manigault with the offensive rebound. Back to Leung. Leung throws it out. Manigault. Liang runs into a wall. And Eastern picks up the loose ball. Holyfield in a wrestling match with Hannibal. No whistle blown. Coach Jordan Brady cannot believe it. He takes a seat for the first time while the game is live. Oh, that almost went down, Sadel.
As well. But he will not get 3 free throws. Just a baseline inbound. The Black Bears already over the limit. Jason Hannibal, 6 points, 11 rebounds, 7 on the offensive glass. And
just a major impact, Sadel.
yeah, those 7 offensive rebounds. Wow, big 11 second chance points for the Black Bears.
And again, Costner continues to assert himself here in the fourth.
And he's been also having problems in taking care of that basketball. 4 turnovers for Brandon Costner. And also, this has been hurting Hong Kong Eastern as well. They have 16 for the ball game. They have more turnovers than assists. 13 for Hong Kong Eastern, 13 assists and 16 turnovers. And that has been capitalized by the Black Bears, who have 24 points off turnovers.
We have a timeout. Black Bears lead Hong Kong Eastern 88-68.
In a posh hotel, very luxurious venue. And I'm sure you're ready to shop after this one, Mr. Anton Rojas.
Our colleague, Coach Josh Reyes, loved it here.
Absolutely.
You know that for a fact. Meanwhile, Lee Kee is able to lay it up and in.
Very important here for the Black Bears to finish this game in a way that Coach Charles will like it. They have to finish the game strong, not be too sloppy. They only have 4 turnovers in this ball game, and that's just impressive.
Meanwhile, Liang, who started off this game with a triple, hits another one.
Let's talk about doing her role and doing it very well. Warren Liang has 13 points tonight.
Holyfield rising up amidst the resistance and is able to draw a foul.
Well, anytime you get 30 points from your locals here in the ASEAN Basketball League, the chances of getting a win are very high. Because especially if the makeup of this Macau Black Bears team, that Manigoat and McKinney can, shoot the lights out. They can go for 25 to 30 points in a ball game. They have that ability to explode. And even though Jason Hannibal has come in with just 6 points, he has 4 fouls too. But anytime he contributes that, and there's always a very good chance to get a win. That's what's happening here for Macau.
And look at the effort of McKinney deflecting that pass intended for Holyfield. Should have been an easy two-handed dunk, but McKinney, despite his team being on top big time, still showing the effort. Rayleigh Ross tapping the basketball from behind. Ball stays with the Black Bears. Manigault using his strength against the much bigger Holyfield.
He used some English on that shot as well. Just the type of shot you see in the playground, actually, Anton.
Meanwhile, Rayleigh Ross, another guy who knows how to create space and score in the paint. 25 points for Brandis Rayleigh Ross.
Well, if you're the Macau Black Bears, you do have really good offensive players in Manigault and McKinney. And Manigault tries to keep this one alive. But here it is really getting some stops, neutralizing the other team's best scorers. And they did that today in stopping Brandis Rayleigh Ross, who has 25 points. But those 25 points, 11 of them just came here in the last 3 quarters. As Leung misses that open three.
3-on-1 fast break. Costner to Leaky.
Another transition basket given up by the Black Bears, but the lead is still at 17 points.
Leaky with 12 points tonight. Starting today for Coach Jordan Brady.
And Coach Jordan Brady using a very tight rotation.
Oh, yeah. McKinney throws it out. Hannibal, easy basket for him.
Easiest of the night for Jason Hannibal. And Coach Jordan Brady requesting for a timeout.
With a minute and 24 to go. Brandis Rayleigh Ross, excuse me, they weren't able to slow him down. 25 points for him, but the rebounding. What about that?
Well, the rebounding, I thought, losing Michael Holyfield for long stretches in this ball game allowed the Black Bears to get control and the pace and the tempo. You know that as soon as Hong Kong misses, with Manigault and McKinney, they're going to get out in transition and get those easy baskets. And that was the case more often than not here in this ball game.
McKinney on the bench, Manigault staying on the floor. And we've seen this several times, even when the game is already in the bag for the Black Bears, Manigault has opted to remain on the court.
Well, he wants to be a leader, really.
He just wants to play. And look at him jump up with a big man of Hong Kong for that rebound. And one of the things that Manigault, as we see this triple right here, has been doing is he's also been the point forward for the Black Bears. That's just a huge responsibility.
Yes, he's also the lead playmaker. Him and, that's an unsportsmanlike foul too. Well, Manigault was not going for the basketball, giving up a deliberate foul because he wants to get a rest now. A job well done for Kenny Manigault in this ball game. And that shows you the variety of imports that we have here, Anton, in the ASEAN Basketball League. You have two dynamic scorers and two really good playmakers in this Macau Black team, and they are complemented by a big man. And you see this Hong Kong team, there's one point guard, one stretch four, can play the three in Brandon Costner, and one legit center in Michael Holyfield. So really, those are the contrasts that we see every time there's a game here in the ASEAN Basketball League. And that's what makes it interesting, really. These world imports going up against each other and also getting complemented by their locals. And so we're seeing different looks, different set of imports here every time.
Lau is able to score from the left corner.
Lau Tzu Lai had a good game against the Saigon Heat a couple of games back, and didn't see action against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, so might be one option for Coach Jordan Brady to go to.
And that's the thing that we were also discussing, the rotation of Coach Jordan Brady. It's very different from the previous years where familiar names from Hong Kong like Lau Chi Lai, like Lee Ki are earning majority of the minutes. It's been very different under Coach Jordan Brady.
It's a fresh start for him. It's Nelson Chan, a fan favorite right here.
He's all over social media here in Macau. I see him working with his personal camera crew to create some content for his social media accounts. But he'll hold on to the basketball as it is official. The Macau Black Bears prevail over Hong Kong Eastern in one of their most dominating wins this season, Sadel.
Well, great performance all around for the Macau Black Bears as they were able to, address their defensive problems in that first half. In this first quarter, where they trailed by 11, and then somehow they, with Holyfield out, they were able to control the boards, control the glass. They took care of that basketball very well. Manigold and McKinney again were impressive for the Macau Black Bears, and Hannibal doing his job as a replacement import. Replaced for Brandon Edwards, but the two other imports, Manigold and McKinney, wonders. Jennings Young with 17 points making an impact, and Warren Liang was a dead shot once again and also providing some strength and muscle on the defensive end.
And it's crazy, Sidel, how pretty much almost every basket came from the first five, as the Black Bears are celebrating with Mike McKinney right now, celebrating his 28th birthday. So the Black Bears improving to 6 and 7, Hong Kong falling to 3 and 6. Your thoughts for both teams moving forward?
Well, for the Macau Black Bears, it's very important that they build on this win. I think they were able to manage the game very well in the fourth quarter, avoiding a collapse in that fourth quarter. So that's a good sign, and that's a good sign as well when Coach Charles Hattemakers was mentioning that the team stayed positive even though those back-to-back losses. As for Hong Kong Eastern, I think it's really time for Coach Jordan Brady to figure out his rotation right here, because again, he's tried something new in this ball game compared to the San Miguel Alab Pilipinas game in the last Thursday. So, and again, Michael Holyfield has to stay out of foul trouble going forward, because this team needs him badly. There aren't a lot of big men here in the ASEAN Basketball League who can make an impact the way Michael Holyfield impacts games.
Like you said, Sidel, it's still a long season for both squads, and we're looking forward to the succeeding game as we tour all over Asia for Season 10 of the ASEAN Basketball League. That does it for us here at the Venetian in Macau. Once again, the final score 97-80 as the Macau Black Bears, fueled by the combined 57 points of Mike McKinney and of course Kenny Manigold, prevail over visiting Hong Kong Eastern. On behalf of my partners, Del Tupas, I'm Anton Ross saying thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you all again next time as we continue our rise to greatness in Season 10 of the ASEAN Basketball League.
Go right there, another block by Miguel.
Wide open is Venetian. Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire. 2:37 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in!
CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai, oh everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net.